Before I launched Produced By, I thought that podcasting was simple. Mic plus guest equals audience, right? Well, not really. I wish it was that simple. And these 5 lessons would have saved me months of guessing. When I started, I had no strategy, zero brand, just some ambition, Zoom link, and all the good Audacity. Since then, I've done more than 150 podcast episodes, out of around 90 are with LinkedIn creators, and I think I can safely say that I built a personal brand around it, such as self-proclaimed LinkedIn's podcast guy. Along the way, I learned quite a few lessons that honestly, I wish someone told me before starting episode 1. Lesson number 1: don't wait for the perfect setup. I spent way too long obsessing over perfect gear. Mic quality, camera angle, background lights. I thought that I had to look perfect for anyone to even listen to it. But here's the truth: nobody really remembers your setup. They remember what you actually say. And here's something that surprised me. Just over 15% of podcasts on Apple Podcasts are currently active, meaning they've published in the last 90 days. Most shows don't die because of bad gear, they die because people simply stop. So your first episode doesn't need to be polished, it just needs to exist. Once you stop obsessing over perfect gear, you realize your job finally starts. Lesson number 2: you're not just the host, you're the director. Early on, I thought that the guests would carry the episodes. They had the content, the story, the audience, so I would just hit record and hope for the magic. But here's what I learned: you bring the structure, the guest brings the content. So you're not just the host, you're the director. Completion is higher than people think when the episode actually has structure. If you hook them early, guide the conversation, create an arc, they actually stay. And if you just wipe, they'll bounce. Alright, let's say you record the episode. The mic worked, the guest showed up, it was fine. But what happens next? Most people think that the job is done. Well, actually, this is where the real leverage starts. Lesson number 3: the episode isn't over when you hit stop. I used to think that the recording was the hard part, but it is not. What you do after you press stop, that's where the distribution lives. Good editing can make 7 out of 10 episodes into 9. Titles matter, clips matter, distribution matters. Most podcasters hit publish and move on, but that's where they lose compound effect. Post-production shapes the story, distribution gives it a second life. And even if you nail the recording, you're only halfway done. Lesson number 4: nobody cares until they do. For the first handful of episodes, it feels like that nobody is there. You hit publish, the numbers barely move, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. It means that the trust takes time. Podcasting builds connection slowly. And here's the perspective. Around 41% of consumers across 49 markets listen to at least 1 hour of podcasts every week. The audience exists, but the attention isn't automatic. You earn it through consistency. Eventually, someone does care. Lesson number 5: the mic doesn't give you confidence. The reps do. I used to think that the gear would make me more confident. That once I sound professional, I would feel more legit. That's not how it works. Confidence comes from publishing episode number 39 when episode number 3 felt awkward. From asking better questions, listening properly, doing the reps. Over 500 million people now listen to podcasts worldwide. The medium is growing, but most creators quit too soon. The confidence doesn't come from sounding perfect. It comes from showing up again and again. Podcasting isn't about downloads. It's about depth. It's not reach, it's resonance. It's trust built one honest conversation at a time. So, if you're starting, don't aim for perfect. Aim for published. The first episode isn't meant to be flawless. It's supposed to exist. What do you wish you knew before recording the first episode? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're still figuring it out, good, so am I. Subscribe if you want more honest creator lessons and behind the scenes of building podcast first brand. And remember, your mic is your movie camera, so use it boldly.